In this video, we're going to look at the math of a concept called net present value. And what net present value is talking about is what is the value of something like a single dollar or euro a year from now, or any currency, but a year from now, it's at a certain interest rate. So if you look at a dollar today, 1 year from now, at 10% interest because of the eroding impact of interest or of inflation, that dollar is only worth 90 cents a year from now. And so you'll run into examples here in the exam or in your test preparation or your learning for supply chain where you'll get a question that says somebody wants to borrow 100,000 from you and they've agreed to pay you back $10,000 a year for 10 years. Or make it even more enticing, 20,000 a year for 10 years, and you're going, ooh, I'll get 200,000 back over those 10 years for only 100,000. Yeah, let's do it. Problem is, each of those $20,000 payments that you get a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, because of inflation, they're not worth that full 20,000. So you have to peel back the effect of inflation and look at what that's worth in today's money, today's present value, and what does that net out to? And if it's greater than 1,000, then you would do it. So I'm going to go to the internet here, and we're going to go to a table here you see on top called net present value tables. And I want to go to this table in the middle specifically to look at, and we'll make it a little bit bigger here. Let's go visit that location and then bring the table up here and you can see what we're talking about here. So let's use the 10%. Let's use what we've got highlighted in red, in yellow here. I'm sorry. The way you read this table is we have interest rates across the top and number of periods down the first column here. And so where you see highlighted in yellow, 14 periods, 8% interest. So what that's saying is a dollar at 8% interest, or the impact of 8% interest, in 14 time periods is only worth 34 cents. So if you wanted to look at $20,000 a year from now, if you go up on top here, so we said what, 10% interest? So if you follow my cursor, 10% interest after a year is only worth 0.9091, so about 91 cents. So if you took your $20,000 and multiplied it by 0.9091, what we're saying is, yes, you will get 20,000 a year from now, but at 10% inflation in today's money, that's only worth $18,182. So that's also saying the opposite, that says if you put that $18,182 in the bank today at 10% interest a year from now, it'd be worth the full 20. So we're kind of dialing it back for the impact. Well, then you get the second year, you get 20,000 back or paid back 2 years from now. Well, 20,000 in that second year in today's money, because it's 2 years from now, is worth 0.8264. So you would take 20,000 times 0.8264, which is where my cursor's at. And 20,000 2 years from now is 16,528 in today's money. So 2 years worth where you'd get $40,000 back would be worth in today's money this 16,528 plus the previous 18,182. So $40,000 that you would get over 2 years in today's money is only worth $34,710. So all of a sudden you start thinking, well, maybe 20,000 over 10 years isn't so great because it eats up the money, or the inflation does. The problem is it takes forever to do it 10 times for each of these numbers. And we have a table out there that takes care of that for you. It's called net present value of annuities, annuities being multiple payments. And it does the addition for us. So I'm going to go to this first table again. And let's go visit it. Bring it up here and make it a little bit bigger for us. Where did it go? There it is. Okay, so now we're back to that. Oops, I got the wrong table here, I think. Hang on a sec. Net present value, net future value. I'm sorry. That'll be one to keep an eye out for. Okay. I grabbed the wrong table again. So here we go. Net present value of annuities table. And you see it on the right side here. So let's go visit this table here. I can see why in any kind of classroom example you and I'd run into, they should have this done for us ahead of time. So you see right here in this example, 7% interest rate for 12 years. Instead of doing each individual year like we were doing before, we can now take the 20,000 times 7.9427 and get the full amount, and that's what we would get for the value in today. So if we come over to 10% and look at 10 years, we see 6.1446. 6.1446 times the 20,000 in our example. So 100,000 you would borrow. They're giving you 20,000 back over per year over 10 years. You think that's 200,000, but in today's money, because of the impact of inflation, it works out to 122,892. In other words, the 20,000 times the 6.1446. And that gets us a sense of 100,000 today, if I borrow it to you, and you promise to give me 20,000 back a year for 10 years, and I'm thinking 200,000, great, but what's the impact of money because it erodes each year? Then 20,000 a year over 10 years at 10% inflation or 10% interest rate, a dollar is worth $6.1446. So when you multiply that by $20,000, you get $122,892 in today's money. So you would essentially be saying, well, if I give you 100,000, I will get the 200,000 over 10 years. In today's money, that's still worth 122, almost 123,000. The net present value, the net amount is positive. Here's the money for the investment.